the great Memphis music scene. Now let's take a look at some other great family attractions. Joining me now is Jimmy Ogle, a lifelong Memphian and a member of the hospitality and tourism industry in this city for over 30 years. Jimmy, welcome to Give Me Memphis.
Thank you, Kevin.
You know, we got so many beautiful parks. Shelby Farms, Shelby Forest, Overton Park, and of course right over our shoulders, Mud Island.
Well, Mud Island River Park is the center point of over 200 acres of park land here on the Mississippi River. It starts with the 18-gallery Mississippi River Museum. It's over 35,000 square feet. It talks about the entire history of the lower Mississippi River Valley. You get out to the island itself, and there's a scale model of the River Walk. The lower 900 miles to scale, 130-inch step equals a mile in distance. They have 65 different informational panels along the River Walk there. It tells you about something along the river. Ends in the Gulf of Mexico with great views of the city skyline, of boats going by, river boats, tow boats, and of course the Bridge of Lights at night.
And of course an amphitheater.
Well, there's a 5,000-seat amphitheater. We have concert season in the summertime. Top name acts will be coming in there. And then, of course, the family thing about the River Park now, you can hike it, bike it, boat it, float it. So you got bicycles for rentals, kayaks, they're overnight camping.
Hike it, bike it, boat it.
Yeah, that's the term.
Fantastic.
So there's plenty to do on the island. It's open basically April through October,
I've
6
even
days a
seen
week.
tents and teepees out there where people camp out on the weekends.
Once on the weekend, you can call in for reservations, and they'll actually set you up to camp out overnight on a Friday night.
I hear they're roasting hot dogs and marshmallows and
making
just
some
doing the whole experience.
Looking at the stars.
Well, you know, of course, Mud Island and, of course, Shelby Farms are doing so many great things at Shelby Farms, one of the largest urban parks in all of North America, larger than Central Park.
Central Park and Golden State Park combined.
It's just unbelievable. So from a park standpoint, tremendous opportunities for families to take advantage of.
Well, if you have to get to the mountains this year, here's one that's in Shelby County. Meeman Shelby Forest, it's a state park, but it's 13,000 acres up here just 12 miles out of Memphis, and it's a beautiful, hardwood trees, hiking trails, boating, camping, fishing. There's plenty to do up there if you can't get all the way to the other side of the state or over in Arkansas to go camping.
And a lot of people have a zoo, but very few cities have a zoo like the Memphis Zoo.
Well, it's grown over the last 20 years. We're one of 4 zoos in the country with pandas. A panda couple. That's very unique. The Northwest Passage is open now. The zoo's open 7 days a week. If you can't find something fun to do at the zoo, whether it's the animals or the activities, the landscaping is so nice now, the new exhibitry, the zoo's a fantastic place to go.
Of course, Jimmy, summer would not be complete without baseball, and what a better venue to watch baseball than our own AutoZone Park in downtown Memphis.
Well, we built in 2000 and opened the finest minor league ballpark in the country, AutoZone Park here at Union and 3rd, and the Peabody Hotel brought the heart and soul back to downtown in the 1980s. Well, AutoZone Park has made it family friendly for sure, and really brought the family emphasis into AutoZone Park. AAA baseball, future Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, World Series performers, 15,000 seats. Got the family zones in the park, the bluff out there, and games, but basically almost 6 days a week, every 2 weeks. There's a lot of games, and there's actually tours of the park. There's a moon bounce, there's little activities, if kids can't sit for 9 innings, they can go to other parts of the park and play around.
So there's something for everyone, even if you're not a baseball fan.
Yeah, terrific place. Music, entertainment, giveaways. It's a classic minor league ballpark. experience, and the Memphis Redbirds are one of the best in the country.
And of course, having young children myself, I know how important the Children's Museum of Memphis is.
Well, that's for the younger children, sure, and that's right there in the center of town. It's easy to get to. There's a cockpit of the FedEx plane in there. You can go through different little activities. There's all sorts of programming for kids during the summertime and in the fall. And again, it's right there in the center of town, easy to get to.
You know, when I think about a family experience, I think of the Memphis Motorsports Parks and that driving experience that they allow people to do out there.
Well, they have a race on driving deal. I don't know the schedule, but you can call the Motorsports Park and you actually get out in a car in a controlled situation and drive on the track, which might be exciting.
Now, as you look around, we got so many great things, and of course, for people who love animals, of course, you got the zoo, but you got the Lichterman Nature Center out in East Memphis.
I actually lived in that building back in the 1980s before it went away, but on the grounds there's 60 acres of just right out there in the middle of East Memphis of trails and a lake, and there's programming, there's all sorts of little animals and birds. I think there's over 200 birds that have been identified, species been identified flying through there, so it's a neat little place too.
The family is so important, and of course this summer with the high price of fuel, a lot of people are staying home, and we're encouraging our Memphians. There's probably a lot to this city that you haven't seen. Now, Jimmy Ogle, you give these very unique tours. I'm not sure little kids are interested in our manhole covers like adults would be, but you know so much tidbit information about the history of Memphis. As a lifelong Memphian, tell us one thing that a Memphian should do before they die in their hometown.
Well, I think they ought to ride a riverboat. I mean, I like the manhole cover tours and walking the streets and all that, but I think you need to ride a riverboat because Memphis was founded on this river here historically because of the high bluffs, and the riverboats were built by a family here over, for 50 years they've been running them. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, and there's one new exciting addition is an airboat they have called a Dimona, and it'll take you out into some of these chutes and up behind the islands. You can take a ride up there on an airboat, actually get up on land too, but you can do the old-fashioned river cruises as well. When you come downtown, you can't just come down and ride a riverboat. You have to take the trolley loop, and then you have to get out and walk some too. That's
right, and of course, I think every family owes it to themselves to teach their children about fire safety. And what better way to do fire safety than the Fire Museum of Memphis?
It's an outstanding museum. Again, it's located right near City Hall. Open 6 days a week, I believe, and there's attractions in there to learn about fire safety. There's fire exhibits. There's a memorial on the wall about city firemen who've given their life in the line of duty, and hopefully soon we'll be connecting somehow and get a police museum back going over in that area as well.
That's great, Jimmy. I'll tell you, Jimmy, as we go towards the Pink Palace, what a great thing for the family. There's so many different opportunities in the Pink Palace Museum.
You and I went there as a kid, I'm sure. I used to ride my bike over to Pink Palace and look at the little Clyde Park Circus and then look at all the natural history exhibits, and now you have the IMAX Theater that has the big shows on it. There's, of course, the Pink Palace Crafts Fair. There's all sorts of activities and programming. It is a family place for sure.
I'll tell you, it's a great segue because, we're about to go look at the vast museum opportunities in this great city as we look at the cultural side. But we want to thank you today for joining us as we talk about the pure family fun of what's exciting and interesting in our hometown of Memphis.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy.